Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to check fresh release from Ebbro. Of course it is molded in 1/24 scale, and this time it copies Citroen DS21, so this is a fresh release from Japanese company. And we have a commercial sample, so it means we'll have a chance to see the same stuff you will get if you buy this kit from any good model shop or maybe from Ebbro directly. So as you can see on the box art, we have this nice picture of the Citroen. I guess this is a real actual drawing. Here we have the signature of the painter, and box size might seem not that big until we turn it like this. And then you see that it is quite thick. By the way, here on the side you can see that we have short history note in English and Japanese. Also we have some information about the manufacturer. As you can see, model designed in Japan but parts made in China. And from the other side we can see pictures of the finished car model. So once again, here is a reminder that this is a 1/24 scale, and it is easy to guess that at least we will get openable bonnet and openable doors. So it might be useful for some interesting scenes with such legendary auto, I would say. So let's open it. It's a top opening box, and the cover is quite thick, so I guess everything will arrive to you intact without any damage. Here you can see all the parts. So as you can see, each sprue is packed into the separate plastic bag, so now we are going to open them one by one and check those parts closer. As usual for Ebbro, we have here the paper clips, so I guess I will have to just tear them off because I don't have my debonder here. So now we are working with barbaric methods. In the meantime, let me remind you that you can support us financially as well, so that we can improve our photo and video quality, because we would like to get the new photo and video equipment for better reviews. And it is quite easy because you can just press the donate button on our website and you will decide how much we will get, because it is done via PayPal, and you just input the amount you would like to send and it will be transferred directly to us. So here we have first plastic sprue. Obviously this is a transparent parts plastic sprue, so here we have all the necessary glasses for the car, for the Citroen. Also we have the headlamps and taillights lenses, and molding quality is absolutely great. I'm not sure about the masks because they will be on the bottom of this box, but what I am sure is that we will do the zoom mode right now so that you can see all those parts in detail. Okay, so this video review will be slightly different from all previous. Why? Because here we won't be doing the 50% slowing down. It will be in actual time, but it is done in 4K, so I guess it might be easier or better for you to see all the small details in the plastic kit. Nevertheless, we move on. Here is another plastic bag. I'm trying to remove the paper clip once again. So here we have the car body part, and the molding style is quite interesting because, as you can see, it is molded as a one-piece shell. We have the rear doors pre-molded. Keep it in mind, you won't be able to open it. Only front doors can be opened in this car. Bonnet can be opened as well. And trunk is molded shut, so you won't be able to open it as well. Here you can see it from inside. Of course, you will have to remove this bar, let's say, but otherwise it looks really good, and I don't have any complaints about the quality of the molding or maybe the parts division. Let's try to increase the ISO. No, it will be too bright, I guess. So we can move on. Here we have the vinyl parts. So obviously vinyl parts copy the tires on this car, and they're quite narrow, like on all old cars. So just give me a second once again. We put it aside, and here we are. So first of all, we have those quite interesting parts. I'll refocus the camera so that you can see them better. I guess they will be copying some flexible parts. We have to check the assembly manual. Nevertheless, they are included. Then we have another set of the polycaps. Those obviously will be used for the wheels. And then we have tires, so I will bring it like this. Overall, this is a typical vinyl part. As you can see, there are no writings on the walls, which is quite surprising because, as you can see, the tire pattern is quite nice. So I guess they could have molded the tire manufacturer name on the wall, but they did not. So did not do it. So that's why we have parts like this. Next, we have this plastic sprue. As you can see here, manufacturer hidden the chrome parts, and this is a quite large sprue, so just give me a second to open it, because again we have the paper clips. I'm not even sure what is better, the sealed, the molded shut plastic bag, or the paper clips sealed plastic bag. Nevertheless, here as you can see we have the chrome parts, and they look really good in my opinion. So let's zoom in and check what do we have included here. So first of all, we have the wheel parts included here. We also have the front and rear bumpers molded like this as a one-piece parts. Headlamps are also here. Then we have the frame for the windscreen and also for the tail glass as well. Here we have the handles as far as I can understand. Then we have the screen wipers. Those are side window frames as far as I can guess. And then we have more of the wheel parts. Then here we have the parts for external detailing. I guess those will be used as a moldings on the walls, and also some parts for the tail lights. Here you can see everything from the other side, the same molding quality. And of course professionals might say that it's just a, let's say, out of factory chrome finish. It has to be repainted. I can not agree or disagree on this, so the final decision obviously will be up to you. And as for me, I think that's more than enough for out of the box build. So that's why if you are fine as well, you just open them and use them on your model. Here we have another white plastic sprue, so it means here we have mostly external parts, roof panel, doors, bonnet, and also the face panel, which is also molded separately. Here we have the wheel rims, and also some headlamp parts, exhaust, engine parts, which are surprisingly placed here, even though usually all those internal parts are molded out of black plastic. I guess because of the optimization, manufacturer decided to opt out for such parts division. Here we have the close-up view. So as you remember, the handles on the doors should be molded separately. Then here we have the bonnet, and note that bonnet does not have any insignia of the Citroen. I guess it will be replicated with separate stickers. Then here we have other body parts, engine parts. Those wheel rims are attached on 2 attachment points. The same can be said about headlamps. And as you remember, headlamps had the separate reflectors, so you insert them from behind, and the clear parts will cover whole subassembly. And then here we have also the klaxon horns. Let's flip it over. From the other side, you can see on the doors that we have the special guiding elements for the door panels, obviously. Then we have installation points for exhaust parts. And what else is interesting is that here on the bonnet, inside the bonnet, we have various guiding pins, so I guess they will be used somehow as well. Note that here on the roof they are present as well, so be sure to use them for the proper alignment of the parts on your model. Nevertheless, that's not the last white plastic sprue in this kit because we have one more. Here it is. Just give me a second. I'll open it like this. Here, as far as you can see, Ebbro decided to place all interior parts. So we have the, first of all, the floor panel, dashboard. Also here we have the central tunnel, steering wheel, which is quite special on Citroen as usual, door cards, the seats front and rear, and I'm not sure what is this, so we'll have to check it. Nevertheless, let's zoom in and take a look together. So here we have the door panels, and again we have separately molded handles, separately molded armrests. Here they are, as far as I can guess. Quite interesting shape, triangular shape. Then we go on with those levers which are placed behind the steering wheel. Also, I guess this is armrest, the middle one for the front passenger and the driver. Here is the steering wheel, and note that attachment points are placed on the outer ring, so be careful while separating it. Here we have the dashboard. I guess it will have to be upgraded with decals, because otherwise it looks just plain. And then here we have the central wall, let's say. Here is the floor for the cabin. And as you can see, we have the minor guiding elements, which should help you with proper alignment of all internal components. Then here we have seats. Seats look quite nice. Of course, you can play with weathering in order to replicate some leather or maybe cloth. It will be up to you. But here, when we flip over these parts, we can see that there are also some guiding pins and installation points inside those parts, which should help you with proper installation and alignment of those parts all together. In my opinion, that's a really great idea, because we all know those car kits where you can't combine separate panels together, and then you have to play around this and solve this problem before actually going to finishing steps. Here we have the last plastic sprue, and finally we have the black plastic sprue, so just give me a second to tear it apart as usual. Here we have the technical parts, let's say. So first of all we have the engine halves, radiator, some suspension parts, also more of the engine parts, and as far as you can see, some of the suspension parts, because this Citroen had the pneumatic or air suspension, so that's why we have those separate air bottles, etc, etc. We have also this separate floor panel, which will have to be connected with the white part, which we just saw. Nevertheless, let's zoom in and see those parts for the engine. So engine, traditionally for Ebbro, it looks quite detailed. I don't see any flaws here. The same can be said about the suspension parts. As you can see, they look good, and the only thing, as usual, which is required from you is to carefully paint these parts and install them on your model. Otherwise, it should be completely fine. I'm also quite impressed that Ebbro decided to, let's say, work on the bottom detailing of this vehicle, because usually, not usually, but some manufacturers just don't invest any time or spend any time with detailing of this section, because it will be barely visible on the vehicle. But here we have it nicely detailed, and I think it will benefit from let's say exposing it somehow, maybe some mirror stand or something else. And here we have some minor components which will have to be installed on the suspension, on the engine, and again molding quality is quite good even on those thin parts. Even though on those thin parts you have to pay attention, because you might easily break them and then you'll have a really funny time. Next we have the separate plastic bag with those decals and stickers, and surprisingly there are several sheets of them, so we are going to open them and check what is actually included. And it is quite interesting, as you can see, that this gluing or adhesive layer is so strong that actually we have the plastic bag torn apart. Nevertheless, we remove it. And so, first of all, we have chrome stickers. Obviously, this is a car kit, so that's why we have the chrome stickers. And here we have the Citroen signs, also model signs, etc, etc. Printing quality is really good, so here I have no complaints about the stickers. Let's go next. Next we have another chrome sticker decals sheet. So let's refocus the camera, now we should be able to see it. Those stickers will be used for the moldings on the vehicle, for the chrome moldings. And again, they look really good. As you can see, they play on the light. This is a more or less chrome finish. So I guess for out of the box build, it should be more than enough. And one more decals sheet. Here we have all necessary symbols for several, not the marking options, but for several number plates. And also we have some symbols for the dashboard and even some the manufacturing signs or stencils which will be placed under the bonnet as far as I can guess. But that's not all, because you won't be able to assemble this Citroen without assembly manual. So here is assembly manual. Traditionally for Ebbro it is printed in black and white. We have short history note in Japanese and English. Then on the next page we have parts map. And note that many parts won't be used. This is a quite surprising thing. I guess they are reserved for the older version or maybe for the next version, who knows. Then here we have safety advices on decals application and also recommended paints. Of course, if you are in Japan, you can order the spare sprues, if we can say so. Assembly process starts with engine assembly, as you can see here. And note that you should assemble some parts in some specific order, so be sure to follow it, because otherwise it will be quite difficult to build something. Here we continue with radiator assembly, then we continue with dashboard and handle assembly. As you can see here, note that mounting angle should be somehow replicated. I don't know why, so just keep it in mind. Here we install the dashboard inside the car. We remove this bar on the car body part. Then here we install various air intakes, horns, and that's pretty much all. Note that you have to cut some plastic parts before installing on the chassis. Here we continue with engine installation under the bonnet. And when you assemble by opening the engine hood, you can use the stand. So there is the stand included, which will be holding the bonnet panel. Here we continue with suspension parts. So famous air suspension. And here you can see the installation of the front axle, exhaust muffler. Then we continue with seats assembly. Then we install this frame with seats onto the bottom panel of this vehicle. Here we attach windows on the car body, and then body is installed on the bottom panel, as you can see here. The next step is assembly of the headlamps, and it will be quite an interesting process, because as far as you can see it involves more than 3 parts, as I thought before. Here we continue with installation of the wheels on the front axle. Then we go on with the clear parts and the chrome stickers, as you can see here. Here we work on the rear parts. And then the last steps go on with doors and bonnet and roof and spare wheel, of course, under the bonnet, because this car had the spare wheel in the front. Quite an interesting one. And note that here we have the option to choose the mirror shape. So if you like the round one, you can install it on your vehicle. So that's all. There are no other components in the box, and still, in my opinion, this is a quite detailed model, and it might be an interesting alternative to all those supercar kits which we are used to seeing this scale. This kit is already available for purchase in any good model shop, so if you would like to get it, just ask your favorite shop or order it online. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit. Write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye.